Hello everyone. Welcome to Confessions Jury, where people put themselves on the spot, waiting for your judgment. Sit comfortably and listen carefully, as you're about to hear today's cases. You hold the hammer and you apply the law. Let us have your verdict down in the comments section. As always, don't forget to subscribe and like the video. Let's head on to our first case. Case 1. Am I the bad person for barely eating any of the cake my girlfriend made for my birthday and refusing to eat anything else she bakes until she apologizes? I've been with my current girlfriend for almost 3 years and we pretty much get along for most things except when it comes to my mother. My mother is mentally slow. I don't know what else to call since she grew up pretty rough, was never formally diagnosed, and had me at 13. Her being physically and emotionally younger made her a fun mom, just not very responsible. In any case, this is one of the main reasons my girlfriend feels uncomfortable around my mom, because she says she has no manners and can be rude, both of which can be true at times. But my mom doesn't do things intentionally, it's just how she was raised, and it's hard to teach her new things. The second reason is that I spend a lot of money for my mom to live in an expensive facility/community so she can be independent but still have some help. She thinks it's a waste of money, especially since she wants to be able to buy a big house in the future, and I refuse to pay her medical insurance despite having the money. She's currently on a plan that she can't afford, which she brings up a lot in arguments. She's not my wife, so I don't want to commit to something like that yet, since I'm not sure how that would work if she ever decided to end the relationship, or if it increased to something I'd rather not pay. I won't lie, I love my girlfriend, but she's not my wife, therefore not a priority, and I've tried proposing twice and been turned down each time. Anyways, I feel like I derailed for a second, but I felt some context was important. This year, she decided to make me a cake for my birthday. I was happy because she's a great baker and even better at decorating, so I asked for a chocolate sheet cake with canned frosting and rainbow sprinkles. She said it was fine, but kept suggesting I have something special and less cheap this year. My mom has made me this birthday cake every year since I was a child, but of course this year she couldn't, and I told her. But I told her I was sure that's what I wanted, no presents and no people over. When I woke up the morning of my birthday, she had me eat breakfast in the living room because the dining room and kitchen were a mess. I'm not sure if I believe that now. And got me up and out of the house after lunch, telling me it still wasn't ready, and I couldn't see it because she also had a really small surprise as well. I come back an hour later as she'd asked, and when I open the door to pretty much everyone we know and even don't know well, except my mom, her parents are there, leap out and with those blow things. I tried to act happy, but to be honest, I didn't want anyone there at all. If it had just been our families, maybe it would have been nice, but I was secretly annoyed. Then when I saw the cake, it wasn't anything like what I asked for. It was 3 round lemon cream cakes, the naked fancy kind with flowers and berries. It looked incredible, and I could tell it must have taken ages, but it's not what I wanted, and I'm pretty neutral about lemon desserts. Everyone brought gifts and I tried to pretend that I liked them, and I did, but in the moment I just didn't feel like opening and reacting to gifts, so I feel like my reactions were underwhelming. Then when it was time to cut the cake, she gave me a big piece, and I didn't even finish half of it. I wasn't in the mood. I just lied and said I was too full from eating all of her favorite foods. I'll admit that was a bit too blunt, especially since there was company, and she was a little short with me the rest of the party. Finally, my mom comes just after everyone finished, and according to my girlfriend, she accidentally told her the wrong time. She brought me a single cupcake, just how I like it, as a gift because she couldn't make the cake this year. I was happy and I couldn't hide it. My girlfriend noticed and kind of gave my mom the stink eye, which is fine as long as she wasn't being rude, but then she took it a step further and just outright made a bad joke about how the cupcake was unique like my mom. She still likes dresses and 2 ponytails, and a few people even laughed. Fast forward to later, I'm eating my cupcake in bed, hoping to end the day on a good note. I didn't complain at all outside of that one comment because I didn't want to seem too ungrateful, but then says under her breath that of course I'd rather eat something that looks like it was made by toddlers than actual quality. That was the last straw for me. We got into a heated argument, so I ended up sleeping on the couch on my own birthday. The next morning, I made it clear that I wasn't going to eat any of her desserts until she apologizes. It's been 3 days. She told everyone that I hated the party, and now everyone is calling me ungrateful, plus her family found out I don't pay her insurance, and right now things are on and off tense and not tense between us. Am I the bad person here? What do you guys think? Lay down your ruling in the comments section and let's move on to our next story. Case 2. Am I the bad person for move out of our apartment knowing my fiance and his mom can't afford it without me? Me, F29, and my ex-fiance, M27, have been living together for about 1.5 years. Fiance got his undergraduate degree, worked for a couple years, and then decided to get an MBA, which is how he ended up in our city. We moved in together after he finished his MBA program. Fiance is from the Midwest and his mom has always wanted him to move back. When he told her he was staying here, she was heartbroken. I went to college and got my degree in a STEM field. After I graduated, I got a job with my current company and moved to the city where we currently live. It's a big international company with multiple locations in the US and international. I love my job, I like the company I work for, and the pay is pretty good. All in all, a pretty good deal. During COVID, my office shut down and we all went WFH. After COVID, they decided not to reopen this office, so I've been 100% WFH since early 2020. I currently make considerably more than him, mainly because I've been working for 7 years and I'm in tech. I had been living by myself in a 1-bedroom apartment and just had my office set up in the living room since it was just me. When we moved in together, we decided to get a 2-bedroom apartment so I could use the extra room as an office. Because of this, I was paying 2/3 of the rent and he paid 1/3. We split everything else 50/50. So the problem started this past May. Fiance's mom told him she wanted to move to our city to be closer to him. She asked if she could stay with us while she looked for a job and got settled. She's a teacher, so figured she'd be able to get a teaching job pretty quickly. Because of that, I didn't really mind her staying with us, as I figured it would just be for a couple months over the summer. Since I thought it would only be for a couple months, I moved my office into a corner of our bedroom and fiance bought a bed to put in the second bedroom. The problem is she never applied for any teaching positions and has been living with us for 6 months now. She and I have really been struggling with each other since she moved in. I can't make her understand that I work full-time. She constantly interrupts while I'm working, which is bad enough, but she even interrupts when I'm on Teams calls. She always asks me to take her places BC she doesn't like to drive in our city. She has pretty outdated views of gender roles and is constantly giving me a hard time for not doing more around the house and making fiancé help with chores, do his own laundry, etc. The constant criticism and insults are just really wearing me down. And I hate having my office shoved in a corner of the bedroom. Back in September, I told my fiancé that since it looks like his mom is going to stay a while, we should split the rent 3 ways. He told me she can't afford that since she has to conserve money until she gets a job. I told him I wasn't happy paying extra for a bedroom I can't use, so finally he said we could do a 50-50 split. I could afford to pay the extra, but I hate the idea of funding her lifestyle. Every time I complain about her or the situation, he says he agrees, but doesn't know what to do because he can't kick out his mom. And he won't talk to her about the way she treats me or how she behaves. When I ask what the long-term plan is, he just says he doesn't know. I've thought about giving him an ultimatum to tell her she has to leave, but I think he'd just end up resenting me for essentially putting his mom on the street. So one of my girlfriends is losing her roommate the end of February. Our lease renews June 1st. I'm very strongly considering moving out of our current apartment and moving in with her. I can afford to pay my part of rent on our current apartment and also half the rent at my friend's apartment. It's not ideal, but I'm not a big spender, so it's doable. The issue is, if he and his mom aren't able to pay for 1/3 of the rent each, there is now a way they could cover the whole thing on their own. But I can't live like this anymore, so I'm pretty sure this is what I'll do, but I wanted to see if people thought I'd be the bad person for leaving them like this. What do you guys think of this one? Let us know in the comments section, and let's move on to our next story. Case 3. Am I the bad person for humiliating my friend after he kept bragging about his IQ? So I have a friend, let's call him Brian, who won't shut up about his IQ. Ever since he took some online test that said he got a 131, he's been acting like he's the second coming of Einstein. At first, it was just kinda annoying. He'd drop random fun facts about how high IQ people process information differently. He started using words like erudite and obfuscate in normal conversations. But then it got worse. He started low-key insulting us. He told our friend Emily, who's in med school, that doctors are just good at memorization, not real intelligence. He told me I was wasting potential because I work in marketing instead of something more intellectually rigorous. Dude works in IT. At a help desk. Anyway, last week we were at a party, and he started talking about IQ again. Someone jokingly asked, "If you're so smart, why aren't you rich?" And Brian, completely serious, goes, "Well, intelligence isn't always about wealth. It's about how you process the world." Low IQ people can never truly grasp how limiting their perception is. So I looked him dead in the eye and said, "Damn bro, that's crazy. What's it like having a high IQ and still losing at fantasy football every year?" The room exploded. Brian turned red, mumbled something about variance and sample sizes, and left the party early. Now he's barely texting in the group chat, and a mutual friend told me I embarrassed him too much. And now, naturally, half the group has been testing their IQs just to mess with him. Someone dropped this 10-minute Cerebrum IQ test in the chat, and it's become a full-blown competition. If Brian was really a genius, you'd think he'd take it again and prove us all wrong, but nah, suddenly he's not a fan of online tests anymore. Am I the bad person for finally saying something? Or did he have it coming? You've sat down, you've listened. Now, it's time to state your ruling. What is it gonna be? Let us have it down in the comments section down below. Thank you for watching. Please like this video if you enjoyed it and subscribe for more cases like these. In life, we may run, but we can never hide from true justice. Stay safe, everyone.